You were a good boy today, weren't you, eh? Hey? His eye was superb. Now I'm chilling out in my stable. Looking filthy, ready for tomorrow. Ha ha ha. Howdy folks, today we have been for a lesson, a shared lesson with Lucy and Thea at Colraine, with a guy called Michael, who is very, very good and very, very knowledgeable in everything, like bitting, biomechanics of the rider, saddles, and obviously the horse as well. So very impressed, achieved a lot, super impressed with Nico. I'm very proud of him, honestly. He is... Honestly, I can't really put it into words, but I'm just so proud of how he's doing. He's so good, bless him. He is just coming on in leaps and bounds. This weekend, Nico's having a bit of a double whammy. It'll be his first time that he will have been out to a venue 2 days in a row. So we obviously had our lesson today at Colraine, and tomorrow we are going to go and do Quest Team Dressage at Colraine. So it seemed like a good opportunity because it's the same venue. 2 days like next to each other. It's not something I'm going to make a habit of, but it was something I couldn't really do with Ellie because she just couldn't cope with it. So I'm hoping that this will be a nice friendly introduction to Nico doing it. And then obviously if we want to do anything like that in future, then hopefully we know we can. But luckily my lesson was at 9 o'clock this morning. So he was home by, I don't know, 10:30, 11. And we're not on dressage tomorrow until 10 to 4. So he has got more than 24 hours to recover. So hopefully there will be a little bit of gas in the tank because I've been completely mad and I've entered a prelim. So my only reason for entering a prelim is because they've changed the intros. So it's an intro 3 and intro 4. I couldn't be bothered to do the MyQuest. My brain capacity and my bank account couldn't cope with it. And the Prelim 2 Team Quest just seems much easier to remember. Now I have no idea whether or not I'm going to get canter, let alone canter on the correct leg. And sadly it's indoors, which kind of lessens my chances. But I did practice the test last night and he did it. I mean, it wasn't like a winning test, but I was really chuffed with it. He's obviously not at that stage yet, so I'm not expecting a winning test. But I was chuffed with how he went last night. So if he goes anywhere near that tomorrow, I will be pleased as punch. But yeah, let's wrap it up here and I will see you in the morning.
Exciting later. I'm going to get dirty first though. Yes.
Good boy. Right, having watched this back, it is not as bad as I thought it would be. So we got a 6.5 for this. The judge said a little left of the centre line and above the bit. I have put him in a different bit just to give him a try. But she has said he's had his mouth open a little bit, so I think I'll go back to my other bit. But anyway, change the rein and working trot. We got a 6. She said it needs to stay forward and above the bit. The circle left here, she said more suppleness, bend and lacking energy. So you can see they've got those doors open at the end and there's always people hanging around out there and horses hanging around out there. Like I was hanging around there before my test because it's where you go in to do your test. But obviously when you've got a pony like Nico, they're more interested about looking outside and seeing what's going on than doing the task in hand. It's not ideal. But we got a 6 for that, and then our change of rein, we got a 6.5. And she said better freedom after that pony club kick, but could be rounder. And we got a 6.5 for this circle right, and she put improving, could be rounder. She says it's improving. She hasn't seen canter yet. Thankfully, because we were later in the day, it was quite quiet in the arena. So that was a bonus. And actually, I did think myself that his trot improved from that point. So here we do a transition to medium walk, and we have to do a half circle right to 10 metres and then a half circle left 10 metres, which she got a 6.5 for, and she put again, opening the mouth to walk, could be rounder and more supple to bend. I actually didn't think this was too bad. I'm quite happy with the 6.5. So the next movement I am disappointed about because he's very good at doing a free walk on a long rein, and we've done this at home and he absolutely nailed it. But again, the curse of those doors, he spotted there were some people outside. You can literally see there, look, he's like, oh, what's going on over there? So I couldn't really get him to come around and drop his head at all. So it was she gave us a 6.5. Oh no, did she give us it? No, she gave us a 6, which I thought was fairly kind because I didn't think that was very good at all. Then for our transition, we got a 6.5 here, and she put a little hollow but obedient. Oh, and for that free walk, she could put that we were inattentive. So our transition to working canter left, we got a 6 for, which I was pretty impressed for. She put slow to canter, wrong bend, but we knew the canter wouldn't be good, so I'm pretty chuffed that we got a 6 for that. This circle that we've just done, we got a 4. She put more bend and freedom and trotted. This is the bit where he trotted. I thought the circle left 20 metres was pretty good, but obviously then we did break to trot. So 4, that's fair. So then we had to change the rein and go into canter on the other rein. So we got a 5.5 for our change of rein, which she said should have been cantering here, and he was unbalanced. And then we got a 4 for our transition to working canter right, and she said late canter. For our circle here, we got another 4, and she put needs to be more forward and bend, fell into trot, which is fair enough. And then the change of rein here, we got a 3, and she put not cantering, backing off. And honestly, I just had no energy left in the tank for myself to try and get him back into canter. But I didn't think I would get canter at all, to be fair, so I was very happy with that. So when we went into working trot, we got a 6, and she said rather hollow and needs to stay forward. That's just like the theme of this, isn't it? And then for our halt, immobility and salute, that is what his is in that comment, we got 6, and she put resting hind leg. I think for his first prelim, that's pretty good, considering we didn't know we'd get canter. And the judges' comments were, well done for finishing, a very lovely pony, once more confident and forward will gain much higher marks. So that was very, very good, and we got 57.83 overall. Well, that was jolly good fun. It wasn't a disaster, but it wasn't that pretty. But we did it. We did manage to canter in the indoor arena, so that was good. Again, wasn't pretty. But we did it, and at the end when we did our salute, I did this big sigh because I was absolutely exhausted. And the judge actually tapped on the glass and told us to wait, and she asked how old Nico was. So I said, oh, he's 4.5. Although I guess he's nearly 5 now. He'll be 5 in May. And she basically said I should be chuffed to bits with him because he is so young and he did so well. So she said he's one to watch for the future, basically. So that was very nice. I did say to her I only did the prelim because I knew I wouldn't be able to remember the intros because it was the 3 and the 4. I know that sounds like a bit of a naff excuse, but genuinely I'd rather get a bad mark but not go the wrong way than go the wrong way and perform it better. I don't know how that works, but it works in my head. But anyway, I chuffed to bits with him. We got some nice marks on our score sheet as well. I am just currently sat in Lidl's car park because Lizette in our Pink Pony Pards team was saying about how she was having pizza tonight, and we were quite fancy pizza, so Lizette influenced me to have pizza tonight. Anyway, so I'm doing this while I'm waiting for them. The judges' comments were well done for finishing. I was exhausted. A very lovely pony, and once more confident and forward will gain much higher marks, so that's good. What did we get? Our total score was 57.83, which, to be fair, we were only 8 marks away from the horse above us. And when you think the difference of ability, I mean, I'm making a huge assumption here that the horse above us is a bit more established and maybe a bit older, done a bit more, but I'm going with that. So if you think that horse is 10 and Nico's 4.5, he's already only 8 marks away. So what's he going to be like when he's 10? Yeah? You see what I'm thinking? Serologics, it's an interesting place to be. And I did apologise to my teams when I did my entry, and I said, you know, you're going to be carrying us, and we did come last as the team. We came 5th, you know, 5th out of 5. But they did great. Their tests were brilliant. They're eventers. They know what they're doing. I don't, you know. Like, I like going. I love doing it with the team, and I probably wouldn't go if it wasn't the team. And I do like it. And for me, it's all about the training. And although it wasn't the prettiest test, it has been good for me because it made me think about my preparation for canter. So I have been doing more sitting trot to try and go into canter, which is definitely making it easier to do the transitions, but it's also quite hard because if Nico doesn't quite nail the transition when I ask, we just get a really fast trot, and his trot can be quite powerful, which means I'm then just like going boing, 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 trying to like absorb the bounce of his trot through my sitting trot. So it's not that pretty, but it is getting better. It's definitely getting better, our canter. I can definitely feel improvements coming. The only other thing that is holding him back is he's just so nosy. Like, the judge underlined attention and confidence in the cooperation part of the collective marks. And I'll be honest, she's correct. It's a shame they don't shut the door actually in the indoor, because they leave the door open like ajar so that the horses can go in and out, just because they don't have enough people really, like the volunteers on the ground. So I get it, it's fine. But if they shut that door, it would just be so much better for Nico, because he wouldn't be constantly looking at like what's over there, and oh, what's that, and oh, there's a horse outside, that sort of thing. It's just excuses really, isn't it? But I'm hoping that his like attention span will just come eventually, and that's just like a young horse thing. I don't remember Ellie ever being like it, but then when I backed Ellie, it was completely different, because where we were, we had amazing hacking, so I basically just hacked her for the first couple of years before I did anything, and then we never really like did dressage. So yeah, whereas Nico, where we are now, the hacking is terrible. So he obviously does go hacking, like we go to the woods and stuff like that, but he doesn't do as much. So a lot of his kind of first years have been doing sort of stuff in the field, like long reining, schooling, that sort of stuff. Like obviously basic stuff, nothing too taxing, and I call it schooling, but I do it in my field, so it's not in like a 20 by 40, it's like massive circles. But equally he is only 4.5, and I don't want to rush him, so you know, I'm not in pursuit of winning a dressage test yet. I mean, it would be great if we could win an intro, that would be nice. But I'm not. I knew today we would come end, but I didn't really care. Like, I genuinely, and I know it sounds bad, and I'm sorry for people that love dressage, but I genuinely, like, I don't really care about getting placed in dressage. I just want to get my test sheet, and I want to improve on the test sheet every time that we go, which is also a downside because it takes forever to get your test sheet. But that's all I want, is I want to get my test sheet, and every time I go, I want to either be consistent, or in the case of the prelim, I would like to improve. So yeah, but anyway, it was a lovely afternoon. It was nice to be out in the sunshine. It was nice to be out with the pink pony pads again. Sorry for dropping the score, guys. If I'd done an intro, we probably might have, actually we wouldn't, because I would have gone the wrong way, so any good points that I would have got would have like had penalties on them. So yes, we'd be in no better position, but maybe next time when we go, which may or may not be Good Friday, the intro tests are much better, so I will go back to doing intros until our canter has improved a little bit more. But yeah, anyway, over and out for now. If you liked what you see, and you'd like to follow Nico's journey to become a Grand Prix dressage horse, disclaimer, that's never going to happen, then please hit subscribe and give me a like and comment below if you have got any tips for keeping a youngster interested. It does just seem to be with the dressage he's got, well, he does find a lot of other things interesting, but generally it's most obvious in dressage, probably because somebody actually cares in dressage. But when we're doing jumping and poles and stuff like that, although we're not really jumping, we're doing little like 50 centimetre poles, nobody really cares if he's looking the wrong way yet. I should care, shouldn't I? It's funny, isn't it? You talk to the camera and you realise what you should and you shouldn't be doing. I should be stricter with myself and I should be stricter with us. Anyway, I'm only here for the laughs. So anyway, for the 100th time, over and out for now. Bye.